What's up, gentlemen? It's Ask Hypnotica. Fuck, I don't even know. You know why? Because it's been so long since I've been here. And it's not because I've been lagging, it's because I've been kicking ass. And shit, man, I'm just busy. Totally transformed my house for a completely immersive program that I'm going to be kicking ass with. I tell you, my house is pretty crazy right now. I got dancers, strippers, I got all kinds of people coming to my house, and they're like walking through it, like going, "Whoa, this is crazy." State of the art tech. Now I got acoustical sound beds, like isolation tanks. I got saunas and ice baths and light machines and all kinds of crazy stuff. So that's what I've been doing. I mean, I've been building underground stuff, okay, and with like me and two crew. All right, so I've been working my ass off, but it's going to be badass because when all that shit's done, I'm coming back full force because I'm going to open up the floodgates for you. So I wanted to get back to you because I'm starting to come out of the path. Like, this is my path. I'm going to start somewhere I just get fucked up and do all kinds of projects and crazy stuff. Pisses my wife off. She don't understand it, but then it starts tightening it back down. And this is where we're going because you ain't seen nothing yet. All right. But I wanted to get to a question, okay? And the question was this, all right? You've taught me a lot about confidence with women, but I want to start my own business and it seems a bit scary. What can I do to boost my confidence in starting a new business? My advice to you is, dude, you're talking to the wrong dude. I'm not the business guy, okay? I'm the guy that can get you confidence and lifestyle and being a badass, powerful dude who's good with women, okay? But I'm not the business guy. So what I figured was going to be best, because I just had Joe Nicassio, which Joe Nicassio is one of the top business people in the world. He works with like Les Brown. It's like Anthony Robbins status and shit like this. But I have a lot of really powerful people that I know, and I'm going to sub this one out. So I'm going to give Joe a call for you, Andre, because it's just not about me. Okay, this is about you. So, sorry, I kind of suck. So here we go. Call him up. I kind of prepped him a little bit, but we'll play off of it. So with this, guys, hopefully you get some information out of this. This is Ask Hypnotica. Don't even know. I'll put it in the YouTube thing later so I can figure it out. All right. With that, we'll talk soon. Adios. Hey, Joe, I got a quick question for you, man. So I hope that you can answer this. And just let you know, guys, I'm on the phone. I decided, because I'm not the expert in the business area, all right? I'm okay, but I'm not one of the best. And I consider Joe Nicassio one of the best business specialists and one of the best in the world on the problem solving of business. So this is why we're here today, because you may ask Hypnotica, but sometimes Hypnotica's got to ask somebody else, especially when I'm in a situation where I'm a little bit out of my league. So I'm going to go to you. So Joe, thank you for taking the call. I know you're a busy dude. I mean, whether
thanks for including me.
Yeah, whether it's
help the guys,
No, it's not about helping guys. It all cross contextualizes across the board. So, and by the way, hopefully you weren't on the phone with Les Brown. That's one of his clients. Like Anthony Robbins type speaking.
He called me a few days ago. He's hiring me to coach his granddaughter.
Nice. No, that's great, man. Like I said, that's top notch gear, guys. So, like I said, I'm doing this for you guys. So I got a question for you, right? So okay. This is what it is. It says, "Hey Hypnotica, you've taught me a lot about confidence, with women, but I want to start my own business, and it seems a bit scary. What can I do to boost my confidence in starting a new business?" This is from Andre from Paris. And Andre, I'm just, like I said, I'm passing the buck on here because I think, it's a better realm for you. But if you're going to ask for my advice, Andre, the first thing to do is know your field. All right? Know your field. Get involved. Get the information. Sometimes if you think you're going to go into a business that you think that you want to get into, go hire yourself out and work in it and make sure, because I've seen a lot of people do that where they're like, "Oh, I want to do this," and then they realize they hate it. So, let someone else teach you on their buck as far as things go like that. Like, I'm kind of guessing right now what you want, Andre. But, that's my advice. And be prepared, all right, for full commitment, probably a lot of hours and a lot of dedication, because when you run your own business, it ain't no joke. It's you and you. And hopefully you expand to have you and a million other people to help you on your way. So with that, Andre and Joe, that's my own little 2 bits of advice for business. What can you tell Andre that's probably going to help him out?
Well, first thing I like to say is, the game of business is different than the game of being with women. I mean, it's just a different game. And unfortunately, most of us never really taught the rules. Matter of fact, we got a lot of misinformation around the whole business arena. So, a lot of people out there saying, hey, you can make millions and have plenty of free time and all that. But it comes with a lot of work. The good news is when you start your own business, you only have to work a half day. You just have to figure if it's the first 12 or the last 12.
Pretty much.
It is a big commitment. But, in the world of women, which Eric, he's got so much experience in this area, it's different because, what we want is affection and intimacy, sensuality, affection, love. But when it comes to the marketplace, we want to get paid in money, and it's just a different currency, and there's different drivers behind all that. So the first thing I really want to emphasize, if you take your left hand representing money, like pull it towards you, the measure of wealth is not how much money you have, but actually how much you give, share, serve, contribute, enhance, boost another person's life. And so, if you want to succeed in business, don't focus so much on the money part, but like, what are you going to do to give and share and serve and make somebody else's life better? If you think about it, we all spend money. Look at your own checkbook register or your credit card. What do you spend money on? Whether it's, you pay a car payment or you pay a house payment. Why do you do that? There's a common thread in all of our spending, and the common thread is to make our life better. Okay? So we spend money on things that make our life better. Why did you spend money getting your brakes fixed on your car? It makes my life better. Why did you spend money on that girl? It makes my life better. And, why did you buy that Jack Daniels? Well, you're convinced it makes your life better. I'm not sure. So if we look at that's the reason we spend money on things, if we want people to spend money with us, we really need to communicate how you, Andre, can make somebody else's life better through the products, through the services, whatever it is you do. And so I think this lack of confidence in business, Andre, there's a couple pieces to it. Number one is you got to choose the right business for you. If you're passionate about what you're doing and you're good with what you're doing, you just need to figure out how to get paid for it. And so when you're passionate about something and you're an expert at something, there's no hesitation about that. But there's this other part called getting paid. Just because you love doing something and you're passionate about it and you're good at it, if you don't figure out how to get paid, all you got is a hobby. And my guess here is, Andre, is you want something more than a hobby. And so the first thing, Andre, I think is we need to organize who Andre is and what he's bringing to other people. Think of yourself like a light bulb. Now, a light bulb radiates energy in all directions. It disperses energy in all different directions. And I guess for a light bulb, if you're trying to light up a room, that's good. But in terms of business, what we want to do is we don't want to be scattered like that. We actually want to organize all of who we are and what we're bringing to a customer like a laser beam. If you offer one thing and it's really powerful and people see how it will make their life better, you can have confidence that some people will actually do that. Not everybody's going to necessarily buy from you. But why do people stand in line at the Apple store for the next new iPhone? Because there's a whole bunch of people that believe when I get the new iPhone, it's going to make my life better. And so, in my business, I know that what I do, I love it, and I make a big difference in people's lives. I really do make people's lives better, and they pay me for it. And Eric, you can vouch for this, right? Let me pass the ball to you a little bit. Maybe you can just riff off of this as far as, you have a business, you're making money doing what you're doing, and you make people's lives better, and maybe you can spin off this a little bit.
Well, I think one of the important things, Andre, that you got to realize is I believe you have to absolutely love what you do. All right. If you don't love what you do, you're not going to go too far with it. And how do you find that? Do you just walk into it? Not really. Think about it. When I first started this, 25 years ago, about this whole men's confidence and, and being a men's lifestyle specialist. There's only one. That's me. All right. But I want to make sure you understand there was no field. There's fields that are opening up every day and filling in a gap of where a problem needs a solution. And so when I was going through that whole thing, I never said, hey, I'm going to be a men's confidence specialist. There were none. Okay. There was no real advice out there when I was growing up. I mean, I got lucky if I ran into one person that was decent with women. And so, me personally, I had to go through trials and tribulations, and I put myself in experiences and to learn this, and I got really good at it. Now, I got good at it because I placed myself in that environment to learn, okay? And from that, there was a problem out there, you know? There was a need for a lot of guys who maybe grew up with their moms or dads, and they didn't have that. So I was able to go into that. Now, like I said, I never was like, hey, I'm a men's life specialist. I had to work a lot of other jobs, you know,
Yeah,
to get
but
to this point.
at some point, you declared your expertise.
Yeah, at some point, absolutely. And I still, you know, keep one of my jobs as a consultant with cheetahs, you know, like one of the top ones in the world. Why? Because I like that environment. You know, I'm learning new things. So the ability to be in your own business and to consistently learn, to consistently know how to make your life better and your business better and your customers better, you just got to be prepared because it doesn't stop. You know, you just don't go in there and say, I'm running a burger joint. It doesn't work that way, okay? You got to figure out, hey, if technology comes around, you can make a burger in 20 seconds compared to 2 minutes. You got to stay on the ball. So once again, my advice to you is A, learn to love what you do. All right. B, consistent in your education and your learning of this, and market. You know, go out there and meet people.
Let me pick up the ball here. So, you know, Eric's on a major point here. You know, actually running your own business can actually be pretty easy. Number one is do something you love. You know. Do something you love. Become an expert at it. If there's something that you love and you're passionate about, if you're good at rock climbing and you're passionate about it, start, so number one is do something you love. Number two is share the love. Share your passion of rock climbing. Share your passion about what you're up to, the big things you're up to that are like impacting people's lives. And then, you know, if you're sharing all about your love and passion of rock climbing and you're taking videos of the rock climbing, there's going to be somebody say, you know what, this guy knows a lot about rock climbing. I'm going to hire this guy to teach me about rock climbing. So it's do something you love, share the love, and then receive the love. But that's a little bit of an oversimplification because there's one more thing that you need to do, and that is you need to give structure to this whole thing. You need to give structure to that sharing of the love. You need to have structure to what you're offering people in such a way that it's organized so that people say, wow, this guy's not just giving me random information, but he's packaged this, giving me everything I need to learn about rock climbing if that's what you're teaching or if that's what you're involved in. So we need to get systematic about generating leads. We need to be systematic about defining and describing like who we are and what we're all about. We need to be systematic about getting ways for people to raise their hand. We need to be systematic about building that relationship with people to get them interested in what we're doing. And then we need to be very systematic about like having a conversation with them to get them to buy from us. And then we need to be systematic so we can deliver consistently all the time. Now, you don't have to go to this level of being systematic when you're working with women and when you're working with the opposite sex.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I've been pretty systematic. You know?
Yeah, it's true. But the truth is if you meet somebody and you strike the chemistry and you get that make out, and there is systematic stuff that you can be doing there, but like once she's excited about being in the interaction, it's a different kinds of transaction. And so we need to think a little bit different. How does the $1 million coach make $1 million? Or, you know, number one is you need to have two ethical people. So if I deliver a lot of value to you, you're going to pay me that $1 million. Number two, and this is the big one, is the perceived value of the buyer. Now, if the buyer sees you as worth $1 million, if I bring you an extra $10 million in profit, Eric, will you share 10% with me?
All night long.
Right? So, if the buyer perceives you as worth that $1 million, they'll pay you $1 million. But here's the challenge. If they only perceive you as worth $100, they're not going to pay you 101. And so the best way to have perceived value is to give real value. But even if you deliver a ton of real value, that doesn't mean the other side perceives it. So there's a responsibility, and there's a saying in neuro-linguistic programming that the meaning of your communication is the response you elicit. And it's not the burden of the buyer to perceive your value. It's your burden to make sure that you communicate in such a way that people see your value. When they understand your value, they appreciate your value. At some point, they may even crave and desire your value. So you need to not only have real value, you need to make sure the onus of responsibility is on you to make sure that the other side understands, appreciates, and desires what you have. The third part of getting paid that $1 million is, and this is a big one, the biggest constraint on making that million is the self-esteem of the coach or the consultant or the person that's in business. So if you say, hey, I'm charging $500 an hour and I work with you 10 hours, you paid me 5,000, but you went and made 10 million, you win, I lose. Okay? So you need to have the self-esteem and the courage to step up and say, I'm bringing tens of millions of dollars to you. Like, let's share the wealth a little bit. And then the fourth piece that's really critical is you don't get paid what you're worth. You get paid what you negotiate. So you don't want to go in after the fact and try and negotiate. You need to negotiate up front. So you need to work with honest people, make sure that they perceive your real value. You need to have the courage and the self-esteem to say, hey, I'm worth getting paid good money. And then you need to negotiate it up front. My whole program is about plan your business, position it, brand it, package, promote, persuade, get paid up front, and then perform. It's always best if you can get paid before you do the work, because otherwise you may be doing the work and then end up playing collection agent trying to get paid. So, Andre, my big suggestion for you is figure out what you're good at, what you can offer people, how you can change their life and improve their life, and then attach a price to it. And next thing you know, you're in business.
All right, let me ask. I got two questions. This is to help Andre.
Sure.
Now, how does a person discover their value and where to set their price? Whether it's a masseuse, whether it's a therapist, whether it's a basketball player, like how does a person, come up with that number? Because I remember when I first started, I didn't know where to start. When I first started, I was just giving away it for free, way back in the day. Now I'm at the point where, and I noticed when I was younger, I put on my goals $25 an hour. Then it was $50 an hour. Then it was $100 an hour. Then it was $150 an hour. So it progressed as maybe I felt more confident with the specialty and the professionalism that I brought to the table. But how does a person come to that number?
That's a great question. Most people use the SWAG method, SWAG, which stands for Systematic Wild Ass Guess.
All right, I never heard that before.
There is a little bit of guesswork in attaching your price, but I'll just go to my own example. There's a cost of doing business with me, and there's a cost of not doing business with me. And typically, I might charge $5,000 for a program. That's the cost of doing business with me. But the cost of not doing business with me is you stay stuck where you're at. You don't build that business that you want. Your marketing stays exactly stagnant, exactly where it's at. So there's a cost of doing business with you, but there's a cost of not doing business with you. Like if I spend money with you, Eric, and it improves my life, then it improves my life. So if I have more confidence with women, if I have, more confidence in the way I carry myself through the world, that's something that could be a game changer for me. If I don't have those things, and if I'm timid, if I'm meek, if I'm shy, and I don't have that confidence, it's going to cost me women. It's going to cost me opportunity. It's going to cost me joy. It's going to cost me pleasure. I mean, like, the cost of not having those things is huge. And so think about not so much like how much should I charge and just pulling a number out of thin air, but think like, what's the impact? When like I was working with you, Eric, a month ago, with a guy, one of your clients, and you impacted him. You rocked his world. You reprogrammed his brain. He walked in like with his shoulders slumped and his confidence was low, and he walked out like a whole different person. Like that whole new person that he walked out at was actually really amazing. And the person that he walked in at was very limited. And so
that skeleton's and still over there. I haven't yet disposed of that lesser than of him who it was.
Yeah, it's like he changed. You changed him forever. You rewired his brain, and even though it was just in maybe 4 hours at time, you could already see that the gears were changing in his brain, and his whole demeanor changed. And he was like the old LP records. They're spinning. It's like people get stuck in a groove, And it's like you knocked him out of that groove so the music could start playing again. He could start living a richer, more fulfilled life. And so, there's a cost of whatever you charged him, but there's a cost of him staying stuck where he was at. And that's really expensive.
And that's just not. Speaking of which, I mean, it's not just financially. I mean, it's emotionally because let's just take that client that came over. What does it cost him emotionally for what he beats himself up? What about physically if he's not, if he's not doing his thing that he needs to do? Spiritually, like he's not evolving into the greater, spiritual being that he is. So it's really not a financial cost. And this just isn't with, like, we're talking about coaching stuff here, but it could be a hamburger. What is it the cost?
Right.
What is it the cost to eat a $3 hamburger compared to a $5 hamburger? Maybe the $5 hamburger is, better beef. Okay, I'm a vegan, so. But matter of fact, let me take an example. My friend Sean, he owns Cali Comfort. You like that, Sean? There you go. He was voted one of the best, barbecue places in San Diego. Amazing, all right? Matter of fact, I mean, I'm pretty much a vegan. I ate some of his food just to test it, and it was good stuff. But he puts a lot of time and he puts a lot of effort and he works and he's always upgrading. And you figure, okay, well, his pulled pork sandwich is $4.50 and this one down the street's $4. Well, this one he puts in 5 extra hours time, and this one kind of has a dirty kitchen over here, and his has better atmosphere. So I guess it's really, what are you paying for as your overall experience, and what's that worth to you? Are you worth going after that? And are you worth to have other people perceive your business in the best way we're actually benefiting them? That makes sense, or was I just kind of all over the board?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. There's a place that I go called Eureka Burgers, and they have a $16.50 burger. It's a bone marrow burger that they take about 5 hours taking this bone marrow, and they slow cook it with an aioli butter. But when you eat that burger, it's like there's something healthy going on there that just like activates your system. So why would somebody pay $16 for a burger? Because it's more valuable. You can actually feel a health benefit that you don't get from that other burger. So you're absolutely right. And for people that are doing things that have nothing to do with finance, there's a way called the 4 future. So imagine, like, if things continue on their current path, there's really only 4 things that can happen. Things can get a little bit better, they can get a lot better, they can get a little worse, or they can get a lot worse. Okay? And so one of the things you want to do is paint a picture of what happens. When people hire us, it's really an intervention of some sort. The reason people buy an iPhone is there's an intervention. My old phone sucks because it doesn't have all the new features. And so I want that transformation. So think of it this way. Your business is like a phone booth. In walks Clark Kent on kryptonite, and out walks Superman with superpowers. So your business, whatever happens in your business in the phone booth, is what's called transformation. That's where the magic occurs. But people will not pay you for your magic. They pay you for the superpowers they have after they bought from your business. And so that's what I would be doing, Andre. I would be saying, how can I help another person? How can I pour all of me, my mind, my heart, my soul, my wisdom into another human being so that they can have the superpowers? How can I make somebody in 30 minutes or 30 days or 3 months learn from me things that might have taken me 20 or 30 or 40 years to learn myself? Those are magical superpowers. When you can see that, you're going on this way, and if you don't fix things, they're going to go this way. But if you get these superpowers, how much better will your life be? Think of your life as a place where, I take a stand. I am an agent for transformation. Eric, I think you are an agent for transformation. And Andre, that's where there's so much joy and pleasure and success to be had by being an agent for transformation, using your superpowers to help other people develop their superpowers and walk away a much better human being. And if you can really make somebody a better human being on the other side of your transformation process, you deserve to get paid well. And so there's a responsibility for you just to make sure. Here's the challenge with it. People that are Clark Kent on Superman, Clark Kent on kryptonite, they're weak. They're disempowered. They can't see what it's like on the other side of the transformation. So we need to paint a picture for them of what it's going to be like after they buy, after they've experienced what we deliver. And when they see, Jim Rohn said something that was great. If the promise is clear, people will pay the price. They'll pay any price. And so, Andre, I think at the core, the number one thing you want to do in your business is have an ability to make big promises that you can deliver on, that are believable. And when you offer a big promise that can really change somebody's life, you deserve to get paid generously.
Nice. Now I got a couple things that I heard you say that I want to just make sure. Like I said, hey, ask Hypnotica. You asked for it, Andre. Okay, I'm bringing you one of the best. But here's something that I've always had an issue with. When you say, your leads. Leads sound so like business, like telemarketing, or your leads and stuff like this. But leads can be customers, clients. Leads can be people, but they can be everywhere. And so when you're going for a customer, client, a person who you just want to buy your product, how do you do that in business? Now, a lot of people don't know. They said, "Oh, wow, Eric, you've taught pretty much most of the top dating gurus in the world. Wow, you just got lucky." Okay, but they forget. In the beginning, a lot of people came to me when I was being successful with women. They asked me advice. I gave them free advice. People would ask, "Hey, will you go talk at these like little groups where we're going to get a bunch of guys together to learn about women?" I did that for free. Okay, but every time I went to those places, I would meet a different person, and reputation gets out. And then you get experiences that happen where you run into people that maybe you're doing something there and they invite you, and then all of a sudden you broaden your horizon. Now you're talking to 1,000 people who have blogs and have everything going on. And then, I was doing, like Ask Hypnotica. This is another thing. You probably maybe or may not have heard of Joe. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but you have to get out there and do stuff. And so when I'm out there and I was giving free speeches and I was traveling just because I was being cool and sharing the information, that's how I got here. And to be one of the best in 6 billion people, okay, I understand this process. Just as Joe does when he goes to an event, he probably has to network with people and find out, who's interested and things like this. And it's just not like our area. Like my friend Sean, okay, Cali Comfort, best barbecue in San Diego. There you go, Sean. There you go. Now you owe me. All right, really, it's good. In Spring Valley, go to it. It's the best. And that was not a vegan-friendly answer. So, but what does he do? He works his ass off. I'm like, dude, you work your ass off. Much respect. He throws little barbecue events, cook-offs. He does events, with the fights, and people go. And so he's not looking at maybe as like a lead, but he's looking at someone that he is going to offer a solution or experience to that they may not have ever experienced before. Barbecue thing. Next thing you know, they're going and eating at his place. Word of mouth goes out. When I was throwing parties, like when I threw parties for the strip clubs, okay, in San Diego, no one really did that shit before, okay? I was like one of the first ones to ever do it. And maybe they would do maybe $10,000 a night. We were breaking like $40,000 a night. I had David Blaine, and I had, all the rock stars coming down, lines around the building, Lamborghinis out front. Like when I threw a party, shit went down like crazy, okay? Like crazy. My neighbors still talk about it. Yeah, one of those things. But where'd that come from? It just didn't happen. So you got to be proactive when it comes to your business. You can't just sit around and do shit. You got to go out there and make shit happen. Like me, I got to get on the phone. Hey, talk to my friend. Hey, who owns a Lamborghini dealer? Hey, we want to bring your stuff down here? You're going to meet clients. Going to the concierge, inviting them all in. You got to be proactive in this. So like I said, when you think of leads, you never know where they're going to come from, especially with the internet. YouTube, you can get on there. You can throw meetup.coms and you can offer classes. You never know. But if you're not proactive and you sit back, nothing's going to happen, and it's going to go down pretty quickly because competition is fierce. If you haven't established who you are through what's the law for the 21 immutable lies? I think it's the law of the number one. If you're not number one, the law of
unique
preemptive. If you're in the preemptive, is that it?
Yeah, preeminence.
Yeah, preeminence. There you go.
Strategy of preeminence.
Yeah. If that's not you and you haven't really established it, you better work your ass off. You can come up through that, but you're not going to do it sitting back, and you're not going to do it being half-assed. And if you want to get along, then you get along. But if you want to excel and be the best, you got to share your message. Like, and the way
You'll
I thought,
never you'll never find a rich hermit.
yeah,
Like if you want to make business, you need to build relationships. And I sell a $3,000 program and a $9,000 program. I have things that I sell that you're not going to walk out and meet people and say, would you like to buy my $3,000 program? Because there's no relationship currency. So before you try and connect with people at any kind of a business level, you need to connect with them as a human being. It helps if you can declare your expertise. I am an expert at marketing, or I am an expert at confidence and social skills, like you. So one of the things, Andre, is you need to be able to declare your expertise. And most people are not going to spend $3,000 like that, although I have met people that they've met me and an hour later they put $2,700 on a credit card. So, those things do happen. But one of the things you can do is say, I am an expert at marketing. Eric, do you have any issues with your marketing? You share that, and I might say, hey, look, I'll help you solve that right now. I'll spend an hour with you if you pay me $50. Now, if I spend an hour with you and you pay me $50 and I deliver the goodies, you're going to be, wow, that was really helpful. And say, if you want to work with me for 3 months instead of 1 hour, I do have a $3,000 program. Might not be for you today, but a week from today or 2 weeks from today. So it helps. There's like short game, medium game, and long game. Big sales typically take a little bit longer, but it's also really important that you have the ability to meet somebody and have a conversation and say, I can help you with that, and attach some small number to it where they're giving you some money. You're starting to establish, even if it's $20. Hey, I'll teach you how to fix that lead generation problem if you pay me $20.
Or even the barter system that works. Like I had people that make me this, make me that. So whatever.
Well, the most important thing is if I give to you, I need to make sure that you're giving something back to me.
Yeah, for sure.
And it helps if there is cash transaction, because if I try and go for a $3,000 sale and there's nothing established, it's a little painful for you to write that $3,000 check. However, if I do a $20 or a $50 sale with you and I deliver the bomb, now when I go for that $3,000 sale, you're going to feel a lot more inclined to work with me because we broke through the trust barrier. You wrote that check, you whipped out your wallet, you paid me money, and then I delivered something, and it establishes trust. There's a really great book by Stephen Covey's son, Stephen M.R. Covey, and it's called The Speed of Trust. And so there's two things, like saying it builds hope, doing it builds trust. So like we make a promise to somebody and if we deliver right away, it builds trust really fast. But if we say we can do something, but we don't deliver, the longer time goes on, the more trust erodes. And so it's really important, Andre, to have this ability to talk to somebody and say, what are your challenges here? If I help you resolve that challenge, will you pay me a small amount of money? Now I'm getting paid a small amount of money. I'm demonstrating my expertise. And more important, I'm building trust over time with that relationship where they're going, holy crap, I paid this guy $20 and he delivered massively. I wonder how much I'll get when I pay for his $3,000 or $5,000 program.
Yeah, and it's one of these things too. Like now we're talking about coaching, but in business, there's a lot of coaches that are out there. I didn't, and just to let you know, like I hired Joe because I got to the point where I could be online. I was doing my stuff, but now I'm ready to really take to the next level. That's why I really haven't been here on Ask Hypnotica that much, because I've been building something pretty magical at my house. I mean, literally, like I got acoustical sound vibrations, hot tubs, ice baths. I got the newest technology and everything you haven't even heard of yet. LED mats, everything.
From my point of view, I'm doing a coaching session with you, and you've been selling products, and you've been selling your one-on-one consulting. But we had three or four conversations. Next thing I know, Eric's out there in his backyard with a jackhammer, like destroying boulders, putting in a deck, creating like this Zen garden retreat so that he can host like amazing events. And so like when you talk about playing at he's creating like a healing retreat at his home.
Yeah, and matter of fact, I was just saying, a matter of fact, like I even brought Joe into my house to help see the vision, because I always, I was getting ready to go to Belize to do, a retreat center. So it was in the back of my mind, but I hadn't gone there and I haven't really experienced that before. So I know, like, I'm out of my league. All right. I'm good at this certain level over here, but I'd never been there before. So as soon as I made that step, and Joe kind of like aligned me and really gave me some pretty amazing advice, I still got to incorporate a lot of it, with this whole building thing that I'm doing here. But the point is, that little prod is what that whole gestation process that I was doing kicked it in. I said, okay, we're doing this. This is the date, or at least set it, tentatively, and it's full bore. And if you've seen my house, right now it's full bore. All right, so it's pretty special coming up.
And I just want to acknowledge you, Eric. We didn't just talk and it was just a bullshit session. We talked and you took action. There's two kinds of people. There's talkers and doers. There's givers and takers, talkers and doers. You didn't just say, yeah, I think I'm going to do this. It's like you said, I'm going to turn my house into a retreat, and you slipped into massive action. And as a result, your business now will have more value because your home has more value, and you can give people a more valuable experience. So when they go through a 3-day retreat, they come in a little bit broken up and they walk out with some superpowers around healing, around body,
kicking ass all around. Yeah.
Yeah, and
they're not getting. You're not gonna get. If you're gonna sign up for my big program, you're not getting away from me. You're stuck with me, and I'm gonna grind you, and I'm gonna haunt you, haunt you forever until you're like there. Because I don't have failures. Okay, my clients.
Yeah, success is inevitable when you master some basics, and if you go into an environment that is full of these basics and fundamentals, and you learn them, you can't not be transformed. You have to be transformed.
Yeah. And then you want to share, because you feel like no offense, but you kind of feel like a piece of shit if you're not sharing your gifts to the world, or your hamburger, your new recipe, or your great massage, or your accounting skills on how to save money. You're kind of being a selfish asshole if you're not sharing it. So you have to get out there. That's your gift. You got to do it, because if you don't, ho hum, there you go. So
yeah. So let's get back to Andre just for a minute.
Andre, you're getting the bonus.
Andre, you want to start this business? Here's the thing. When are you going to stop cheating the world by hesitating to create this thing that can make stop cheating people, do this business, have an impact. When you know that you have an impact on people and you improve their lives, you sleep so good at night. You sleep good knowing I had an impact. I influenced people. I made people better off because they came to me, they did business with me, and they're better off now as a result. And when you know that you're doing that kind of great work, you can have total confidence that you're doing amazing things. Why would you want to cheat people of, your timidity is cheating a whole lot of people. Your confidence empowers and makes a big difference in people's lives. And Andre, you need to do it. And if you need help, reach out. I'm here to help. But you can be successful. And when you're doing great work, you get excited about helping people versus lacking that confidence in helping people.
Yeah, and I think that just comes from the knowledge and the self-study and everything like this. Because I don't bring too many people in. It's a little side thing. I can be funny and all that shit, but when I get professional, I don't fuck around. It's personal. And so I invited Joe to watch one of my transformation sessions. Okay, and Joe's very skilled at NLP, and he's very skilled in hypnosis, and he knows his shit. And when I opened it up to him and just went fucking crazy, okay, on this guy, bringing in all kinds of different shit, like you could see as far as Joe, because I told him, I said, I fuck around a lot, I'm fun, free carrying. I said, but when that door shuts, it's go time. So it's one of those things, like, you have to love what you do. And so, like I said, I offered that to Joe to see that. And like I said, Joe, like, I don't, only people that see that Jedi mind side of me is...
Yeah, it's really cool to see a master at work in his laboratory doing amazing breakthrough work that, normally you're just sitting around, you're drinking a soda or drinking some lemonade or whatever. But when you get into the zone with your expertise, Eric, you're magical. When I'm in the zone with my expertise, I know I'm magical. And Andre, I just think, I know, Andre, you have genius insight. I wrote something down the other day. I have a coach, and somebody asked me to write down some things. So he asked me about my beliefs around life and business, what I stand for in life and in business, and why I'm unique in life and in business. Great exercise. Let me just share with you. I believe people are born as geniuses and then maybe conditioned into mediocrity. That's what I believe about people in life. In terms of business, I believe I have the superpowers to bring out that genius in others. Now, I stand for self-reliance, and that's in life, and I stand for you to create a passion that pays. Like, you can create something that you love doing passionately that pays. And then why am I unique in life? I have a unique journey with amazing mentors. And where I'm unique in business is I'm unique because I personally help you connect the dots. I have a complete solution for monetizing your passions. I guarantee results, and I won't quit until you win. So, Andre, this is an exercise you can do. What do you believe for life and in your business that you're creating? What do you stand for in life? And what do you stand for in terms of helping your clients? And why are you unique in life? And why are you unique in terms of what you can do for other human beings? And, witnessing Eric do this magical work, it's like he clearly has some beliefs about helping people out, and he takes a stand for that transformation that he does with people. And he's absolutely unique in the way he does it. And, Andre, I just want you to seek those things out and find those for yourself, because when you do, you're going to be in the zone, and there's no lack of confidence issues anymore. You're doing your life's work, and it feels really good. It feels yummy. And you know what? There is, you do need to create the courage to start your business, but if you don't do it, what are you going to do? Go back to a soul-sucking job?
Yeah. And here's something else that, like, my client came in, he got the bonus thing because I was like, hey, this is Joe. He's going to sit in a little bit. And so when I had to go take a piss or whatever I had to do, he got to talk with Joe. And I came back and I learned a lot of stuff from Joe. Like I said, we spent the week together. He stayed down here and we, bullshitted and fun stuff. And that's one of the things, when you get good at your business, you meet a lot of really cool people. You get out of the gutter with people who ain't doing shit, and you get in where people actually do shit. And when you're talking about uniqueness, all right, and this could be a brand, this could be anything, all right, the guy went like this. He said he was like a graphic designer. And he said, Joe said, well, what do you do? I'm a graphic designer. But that's really not what he did, okay? And just the way he labeled himself, it kind of put him in this commodity, like this cheap commodity.
Tiny box.
Yeah, tiny box. And so I'm going to throw it back to you, but remember what you told him? And I was like, yeah, that's right. And I've really started to incorporate that with what I've been teaching my guys, is because, when you label yourself like, oh, I'm a masseuse, okay, or I'm a accountant. Like, give some examples on what you said with him, and other examples on being unique and the way you communicate that to potential clients.
Yeah, I transform t-shirts into treasures. I work with bright people who are searching for unique gifts and they don't know what to give, and I help them create custom gifts that are personalized and they're meaningful. I mean, we played around with a lot of different ideas, but the bottom line is, when he said it the old way, it was like kind of pathetic. And when he said it the new way, he really glowed and he was empowered and he represented himself much better.
Yeah, much better. It gives more detail to the bigger picture. Like a masseuse. Okay, I'm a masseuse. No, you know what?
I'm a healer.
Yeah, well, I would even take it further and say, what? I'm a person who can get in your muscles and break down the scar tissue so that you, as a professional athlete, can perform 1% to 3% better. Compared to, I'm a sports massage person. An accountant. I'm an accountant. I'm a person who takes extra time to really go through your finances to find out, down to the penny, where you may be losing it so that you can get the highest leverage in your profit. What sounds better?
I'm a realtor, and I don't just help people buy and sell homes. I help them transform their lifestyle, because your home environment, it can make or break you. If you're in the wrong home environment, it can actually slow your life and life experiences down. But if you're in the right home environment, it's more supportive for you, it's more supportive for your wife, it's more supportive for your children. And so I provide transformation from homes that don't work for you into an environment that supports you, your family, your wealth, and your future.
Yeah.
That's different than saying, if you want to buy a home or sell a home, I'm a realtor, here's my business card.
Exactly. Like, you didn't make an impact. Like, friend, here you go, Sean, once again. You're not even paying for this, but I'll take a free veggie something when I get there. I own a restaurant. I own the restaurant that smokes for 7 days or whatever the hell it is, this meat that will melt in your mouth, guaranteed that this is not the best, sandwich that you ever had, your money back or whatever. Can you make that impact? Because commodities, it's just, but specialties like me, there's no other men's lifestyle specialist. I created that. Okay, and you can create it, and I help women and men feel much better about their bodies, have more confidence in sex, have more confidence in who they are and their interrelations with people, all that good stuff. So have your message, because here's the thing: if you go into business and you can't even describe what you do that's unique, that sucks. That you haven't put enough time to really think about what uniqueness that you bring and how you're different and how you're separated from the rest. You suck.
Yeah, and I just want to acknowledge you. I have a business that I invented custom for me, and you've invented a business custom for you. And Andre, I would just recommend that you actually invent a business that's really built around you and who you are and what you're about. I think one of the challenges in starting a business is we get a lot of bad advice. You should be a firefighter, or you should be, when I grew up, I wanted to be unfulfilled and mediocre. No, I mean, the problem is nobody ever really took and gave us that guidance to create something that was ours. They tried to plug us into somebody else's career, somebody else's job, go to school, get an education, get a job, and you just show up from 9 to 5 and you do your work assignment. Ho-hum. That's not the way to go. The truth is, Andre, is you've got talents, you've got skills, you've got abilities. And if we just organize you from being that scattered light bulb into that focused laser beam, and you declare, I am an expert at, lifestyle, what'd you call it? Lifestyle enhancement?
Yeah, I'm a men's lifestyle specialist.
Yeah, men's lifestyle enhancement, men's lifestyle specialist. But you created that because that's who you are and what you're all about. And I created Employee Escape Plan. I transform employees into entrepreneurs or existing entrepreneurs. I help them succeed. But that's who I am. That's what I do. And it's really centered around who I am and what I'm about. And so don't just get into a business just because it makes money. Because if it makes money and it's not in your heart, you're going to eventually burn out. So start with your heart. What do I love? What am I passionate about? What do I know? How can I show up and make a big difference in other people's lives? And when you do it around that, you become unstoppable.
Yeah, you get to live the life that you want, and we're just keep on drifting. Hopefully, it's okay in your time schedule. I know you got a lot of clients and stuff like this, but
things are crazy.
I know they are. But you said something like, Andre, listen to this. When I was in high school, I sucked in school. Sucked. Okay, the only thing that I was good at is PE, choir, and because that's where all the dancing pretty women were, and I was the only guy. But I got to tell you, by the end of my senior year, that thing was filled with football players because they saw how it worked. But the point I'm actually making here is I went to junior college. I sucked there too. I was trying to fit myself into something, yet nothing fit at that time. And I was frustrated. I was like, am I dumb? What the fuck's going on? Like, I maybe this is just into me. But I knew, like things like anthropology, for some reason, I loved it. Life science, I loved it. But everything else I sucked at, big time. And then as life went on, then I somehow got into a massage class, became a massage therapist. I found it. Then I learned about, through that class, neuro-linguistic programming, found that. And next thing you know, found hypnosis. And then I became a fucking monster. And not too many people study as much as I do now because I found the niche, which with the accumulation of everything and a hybrid of all the information, I was able to come up with, men's lifestyle specialist. So what he said, and he said something I got to just correct. It's not a bad choice to be a firefighter or first responder. Okay, that's highly recommendable. But I just want to say it's not a bad choice. Heart. Yeah, that's one of those things. But what he was saying is, don't try to plug yourself into something that's already there. Remember, you can become a hybrid, especially with the technology these days and age. And if you suck early, doesn't mean you're going to suck later. Okay, so I want to just add that to the.
There's an important thing that's coming up for me right now, and it has to do with this law of attraction stuff and manifestation. One of the things that if you watch the movie The Secret, they talk about your intentions and how you put your intentions out to the universe, and that's important. But I learned something from this guy Dan Fowler. He talks about if you look at the word intention, it comes from inner tending, so it comes from your core. So whatever it is, like if you heal yourself from an inner place and you set your intention. So the most important thing is the thing you put out there comes from in here. And so when we get alignment first step is get alignment with your own internal desires, wants, dreams, what you're trying to create. And when it's purified and beautiful like that, then you put that out there. It's super attractive and you'll make it happen. So as you're creating your business, it comes from an intention of inner knowing and inner knowing yourself, and coming from a place of, yeah, this lights me up. Yeah, I love this. I love helping people in this way. And when it comes from here and you shoot that out there, it's super sexy, it's super attractive, and it's super desirable, and people will pay you for that stuff.
So there you go, Andre. How's that? I think you got your money's worth this week. And like I said, sometimes I'll jump to these. I don't know all the business questions, guys. I can definitely tell you your lifestyle and get that all handled and things like this. But I refer to business specialists as far as that goes. So, Andre, you got lucky because you probably thought it was going to be me, but you got Joe Nicassio. And with that, let's wrap it up. Joe, if they want to get a hold of you, just, since you're here.
EmployeeEscapePlan.com. At the top of the page, there's a schedule an appointment button. I wrote a book called Resurrecting America's Entrepreneurial Spirit because a lot of people are afraid to start a job. If you go to that website, EmployeeEscapePlan.com, you can download the book for free. It's on Amazon for $20. But you can download it for free on my website. And so I want to just invite you, if you want the help's available. Just raise your hand, reach out to me, because that's what I'm all about, is helping you start and create a business that really works. So thank you for letting me share.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, Joe, and thank you for picking up the phone call. I do appreciate that. And with that, guys, this is Ask Hypnotica, and today was Ask Joe Nicassio. We'll talk to you soon. See you later. Adios.
Adios.